let's talk about hyperconjugation. Now there are few main conditions that which compounds will undergo hyperconjugation. The conditions, the very first condition is that the sp3 hybridized carbon should be connected with either a carbocation, an alkene, or a free radical. So the very first condition that you have to look in a compound is if an sp3 carbon is connected with a carbocation, alkene, or a free radical. The second condition that you have to consider is that the sp3 carbon should have at least one alpha hydrogen. Okay, let's see how will it be connected with a carbocation. If I say this is my carbocation is a carbon with a positive charge. So if it is this carbocation, it should be attached to a carbon which should be, this is my alpha carbon. Now if this is my carbocation, this should be having at least one hydrogen. These two can be anything, the valency can be satisfied with any of the substituents of the atoms, but the alpha carbon should have one of the hydrogens. If it is an alkene, so this is my alkene, this is my alkene carbons, both of them, they should be having an alpha carbon which should be having at least one alpha hydrogen with it. Now if I talk about the free radical, this is my free radical. So free radical should be attached to a carbon which is having at least one alpha hydrogen, right? So now let's discuss the hyperconjugation in each of the following cases. Let's talk about hyperconjugation in carbocations. Now let's take a simplest of the examples. If this is CH2, I'll have one hydrogen here, and one hydrogen here, and this is my carbocation, right? Now what is happening is that this alpha hydrogen which I am talking about, this bond, this is formed with sigma electrons, right? So I say that these two sigma electrons shift here, right? So now what will happen is there would be a double bond here, and this positive charge will go off because there was one valency of this carbon was lacking, which has been now substituted with this double bond, and this hydrogen will be here, right? Because one of the electron from here has come here and formed the bond. Now if instead of this hydrogen that I am talking about, this remains here and one of the sigma electrons from here go and shift this side, then what will happen? This hydrogen will be as it is, this will be CH2, and this will be positive now, right? Now there is one more possibility, that since this particular carbon was having 3 hydrogens, so now this case we have already taken, this also we have taken. Now this hydrogen shifts here, so now what will happen? This will be like this, right? So this is also called as no bond resonance. Now how many structures were formed when we were talking about this compound? There were 1, 2 and 3 hyperconjugating structures, right? Why 3? How will I calculate how many number of hyperconjugating structures would be formed? Now as you have seen here, the carbon that I am talking about is having 3 alpha hydrogens, so the number of alpha hydrogens is equal to the number of hyperconjugating structures. What is the total number of the structures? Total number of the structures would be the number of hyperconjugating structures plus 1, the original one. Fine, but the number of hyperconjugating structures are going to be equal to the number of alpha hydrogens. And also to be noted here is, more the number of hyperconjugating structures, higher is the stability. This is very important because in the exam the question might be asking you to compare the stability of 2-3 given compounds. Fine, now let's talk about hyperconjugation in alkenes, right? Now let's take an alkene. Let's take a simpler one again. This is my double bond carbon, so it has to be attached to a carbon which is having a single alpha hydrogen, right? Now again what is going to happen, this bond will shift from here to here, and the moment this will come here, the valency of this carbon will be more than 4, so this double bond will shift here. So now what will happen is, you will have, the bond has shifted here, so this carbon will be having a negative charge, and here it is going to be hydrogen positive. So now how many alpha hydrogens were present? This was my alkene carbon, so it has 1, 2, 3. So how many hyperconjugating structures are present? 3. So now apart from this, this hydrogen can also go, so I will write it like this. Right? And the third one also. So it will be so now again you have 3 alpha hydrogens, so 3 hyperconjugating structures. Now hyperconjugation in free radicals. Now what are free radicals? Free radicals are the carbons with a single electron. So if I have again the simplest structure I will take, this is my free radical. So if I say that this is attached to a carbon and it has 1 alpha hydrogen and 2 more. So now what will happen is, again this bond, the alpha electrons from here will shift here. So now what will happen is that this will be like this and hydrogen will be like this. This electron has come here, so there is a double bond. This was a single electron, so 1 electron from here, the cleavage of this bond, and 1 electron from here, they will form a double bond. So there would not be any charge or the free radical sign here. Now again you have 3 alpha hydrogens, so this will repeat. The same thing, and one more time this will be from the below hydrogen. So again you have 3 alpha hydrogens and 3 hyperconjugating structures. Now let's talk about few simpler questions that can be solved from this. If the question says which is most stable out of the following, and the options given to you are let's take a tertiary. Okay. Right, so you should know which is going to be more stable, and as we said that more the number of hyperconjugating structures, more is going to be the stability. So we'll first calculate the number of alpha hydrogens in each of the following cases. This is the carbon that we need to consider. How many alpha carbons are present? 3. And how many alpha hydrogens are there? 9. So 9 alpha hydrogens are present here. This is the main carbon, 2 alpha carbons. So how many alpha hydrogens? 6 alpha hydrogens. Here there are 3 alpha hydrogens, and here there are 0. So as number of alpha hydrogen increases, number of hyperconjugating structure increases, and the stability also increases. So what will be the order? The order would be like this, right? Let's discuss 2 more questions and then we'll wind up. For example, these 3 structures are given to you and the question says which is more stable out of these 3. So we also know that the relationship between the different types of carbocations is like tertiary carbocation is more stable than the secondary and then primary. Again, we have discussed why this, because tertiary carbocation would be having maximum number of alpha hydrogens than secondary and then primary. So now if I talk about this carbon here, this carbon is attached to 1 and 2 more carbons, so it is secondary. This is attached to 1, oh sorry, I'm talking about this carbon here. This carbon is attached to 1 carbon only, so this is primary. Now this carbon is attached to 1, 2 and 3, so it is tertiary. So as per the order, what will be, which one is going to be the most stable one? This is most stable, then we have this, and then we have this, right? Now in the next question, 4 structures are given to you and the question is asking you which one is the most stable. What you have to do, you have to find out the number of alpha hydrogens. When I talk about this structure, there are no alpha hydrogens because these 2 are the main carbons which are doubly bonded. And when I talk about this is my alpha carbon. So how many alpha hydrogens do I have? I have 3 alpha hydrogens. Now these two are my main carbons, so there are 1 and 2 alpha carbons. So how many alpha hydrogens? 6 alpha hydrogens. And when I talk about this, 1, 2 and 3, so 9 alpha hydrogens. So now which is most stable? This is the most stable.